Welcome to the Gray Area. The Gray Area Media. We've obligated ourselves to be the voice for all communities, speaking on topics that include community, religion, education, politics, technology, sports, health, and wellness. The Gray Area Media is a platform created by longtime friends for the sole purpose of providing our communities with the ability to voice current, past, and modern-day issues. The Gray Area, in its naming significance, solely speaks to the area in which people shy away from speaking because of media-based constraints or contractual-based obligations. Well, I'm here to tell you, we don't do that here. So please, stay tuned in. We're going to go live in a few minutes. Don't forget, please add us as a friend on Facebook so that you can follow our live feed. And not only that, please add us on Twitter and Instagram at The Gray Area Media. Please visit our website at www.thegrayareamedialive.com. Thank you. Hello, viewers. We are live right now. This is the Gray Area Media, and we are on Facebook Live. This is your boy, Ray E.
This is your boy, P. Wills. What's happening?
And this is Ebony.
Ebony in the building, y'all. We have some very special guests here for you. See, Ebony starting
every time. Listen, that's back-to-back weeks.
We ain't even got 5 seconds.
2 strikes. One more strike, we go get you.
My goodness.
We go get you that third strike. One of y'all did it last week.
It's all good.
You know, Ray talking, with the Don Juan voice, Gray Area, we got some.
You know how I do. Come on now.
We should start playing the
We
back.
are talking about real estate, y'all. Real estate, property management, renting versus owning, commercial real estate, property management. Come on, man. We got it. We got a roster here today.
Absolutely.
And we're going to talk about all the greatness, good and bad, about real estate, to see if that's something that you either want to do or partner with these guys and get involved with. My man Cortes Walker is here.
What's happening, brother?
Real estate agent, broker.
What's going on, y'all? I'm just glad that that I'm here, and I'm kind of mad that I'm the only person with a three-piece suit on. Man. Like, 10 o'clock at night.
Ain't nobody give you the memo, man?
Nah, man.
Hey, man.
I thought I was supposed to dress professional, man, and I feel overly dressed, man. I feel like I'm at a prom or something.
That's my fault, man. Man, that is absolutely my fault.
I want to look my best, man. I want to look my best.
Hey, listen,
Hey, you sharp. You sharp, brother.
That's right.
sharp minds,
My man Eric Chapman.
Hey, what's going on?
let's do
Appreciate
it,
you
man.
guys inviting me out here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks, folks.
And Conrex Property Management.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna go deep into exactly what you guys do in your businesses in a second. My man Toni McDaniel, how you doing, brother?
Appreciate you, brother. I'm glad to be here.
Man, we always seem to connect some kind of way every now and then, whether it's just in passing or whatever. But it was just destined that you was gonna come on this show, man, to talk about what you guys do. What's the name of your company again?
K&T Investment.
K&T Investments Development.
Nice.
All right. And my man Keith Safford, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well today. How about
Man, you
yourself?
pretty good, man. You guys are partners, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Well, this is what we're gonna do. First, Pat wants to tell his story,
Chat, man.
so we're gonna let him get that out the way
Hey, man, let's get this out the way, man.
because it's gonna be
quick.
killing him.
Come on.
Hey, listen. First of all, man, I'm glad that y'all, man, that y'all brothers came, man. And we're going to get into it, but I gotta talk about this man right here, E. Chat. My first touch of being humble was when like 9 or 10 years old, right?
Yeah, we about 10.
Yeah, about 10 years old. So I thought, I was like Jordan. Like all the kids called me Jordan. In my old neighborhood, right? So we had a family reunion at Riverside Park. So my older cousins, we playing ball. So I'm out there, the older guys, man, trying to guard me. I'm making shots, right? So we played 21, and I win the first game. So I see this dude like, hey, man, you can't beat this dude. So I turn around, and I just see this dude crossing the street all slow. I'm like, yeah, right, man. Man, please, man, I'll kill this dude. Bro, I'm talking about this dude did not miss. And he ripped me. Every time I touched the ball, he ripped me. He destroyed me. So the whole ride home, embarrassed me. And the whole ride home, man, my older cousin, man, was just laughing, man, teasing me. And man, like I had nightmares, man. I was like, man, like this dude is like 100 times better than me. And then we played in the church league.
But we were so small. I was like 4'11".
Yeah,
Killing.
killing me,
I was a little guy.
killing me. Oh man, like petrified, man. He had me scared, man.
Yeah, we actually, I think we was at Riverside Park.
Yeah.
I want to say we were.
Yeah,
Back when they had, chain nets. When
Yeah.
back in the day, that's
Oh, man.
that's not allowed.
You ain't
anymore,
played
you know what I'm
outside
saying?
until you played on the chain net.
Yeah,
Bro.
yeah, it was.
And
yeah,
all you heard,
hands
man,
off and everything. But it
every
was
time,
real.
man, this dude shot the ball.
Sound like you in the prison yard.
Yeah, the prison yard, man. I was like, dang, man, did this dude miss? And could nobody stop him? Man, he crossed my cousin, man. I'm like, oh my God, man. This dude 10 years old, man. I had never seen nobody play.
So what did you learn from that, man?
Oh man, listen. I learned that I need to work on my game because I mean, real talk. Look, we got back to my cousin's house. I literally stayed in that driveway until like 1 a.m. because of him. I was like, man, there's no way, and I was so mad because like I'm super duper competitive, and he's one of 2 people that I've ever feared on the court. Like one of 2 people. Yeah, that's why I'm like.
So you're the reason why he
that's
got
big,
this jump
man.
shot now.
Yeah, because he be pulling from half court. You know what I mean?
Hey man, chat man. He humbled me, man. That's a good brother though, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And all these brothers in the room, man, we go a long way, man. It was just destined for us to get in here and really talk about something that's important and vital to our community.
Right.
Now is the time to really focus on owning something. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not owning something, selling that. You know what I mean? There's so many different ways to do real estate. So what we'll do is we'll start with Cortes, and you just tell us what your title is, what you do, and the company you represent.
Yeah, I'm with Keller Williams. I'm a realtor. I've been a realtor for over a year. I actually started with investing properties. Investment properties is like more of my niche. So I work with a lot of developers, a lot of people out of town that want to purchase properties. Work with a lot of different people from brokerages, landlords. I mean, anything you can pretty much think of, even property management. I'm hoping to work with this dude here as well in the future. But make a long story short, 3 years, 3 years ago, I actually was learning from, someone that was a landlord. And he was like, yeah, you should start real estate. And I'm like, yeah, I want to start, but I'm broke. I ain't got, I don't got a lot of money to, invest in properties and actually, rent them out to other tenants because it costs a lot. Any average investment property can be from $15,000 to $20,000, with an average rehab. So what I did was I actually went online, seen something that's called Flip Houses Like Your Hair's on Fire. Like Your Hair's on Fire. It's called Mark Whitten, and I seen that it was a real thing. And what I started to do was basically flipping contracts with other investors. And make a long story short, that's how I got into real estate. And as I began to do that, 2 years later, a lot of investors, they came to me and they said, "Do you have your license?" I said, "No, I don't have my license." So I learned that I couldn't really list these properties that they were, buying from me as an investor. So what I did was I got my license, and a year later, I became a realtor, and it actually gave me more power, not just, as a person, listing properties and making money, but in the community as well.
Right.
So I mean, it gives me power to help people, and also as well, I would definitely say that. Just like you said, I think now is the perfect time for people to own something.
Absolutely.
A lot of people, they don't see the investment side, and me personally, I don't just work on the selling side. I'm working as a realtor and as an investor to do flips, do rentals, work with nonprofit organizations, work with lenders that can actually help other people in the community, not just how can I say it, not just in township areas, but in rural areas as well. And I'm actually working with a developer right now. His name is Quincy Murphy. Shout out to him. He's actually doing a property on 36 in Tacoma, and he's put me in touch with a lot of different lenders and stuff like that. That can actually help people, in urban areas that can't afford, housing like the average person.
Right.
So you're gonna get a really, really nice house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. two-car detached garage in an area where that normally in a township area costs around 175, maybe even 150.
Right, right.
This house will be listed around 110 and 115, and I mean it's definitely going to help the community. So, I mean for the most part, you know, I'm definitely always listing houses, always looking for new opportunities, and always looking to help people that's trying to get in the real estate game as well. So, I mean that's pretty much it and what I'm doing right now. So. I mean, if anybody wants to reach me, they can reach me at Cortes Walker at kw.com, which I'm with Keller Williams right now. I'm also with a team, Cortes at dreamteamindy.com, with Kristen's team, which is downtown at 1125 East Brookside Avenue, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46201. And I mean, for the most part, you know, definitely just working on the investment side. That's what I specialize in. So I do that on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, and we got some questions for you in regards to the investment side of that. Eric Chapman, you know, tell us more about your business and what you do.
I work for a company called Conrex Property Management. Basically, what we do, we provide affordable housing for the average American.
Okay.
We have homes all across Indiana. We have different scales to, for the most part, we have 3 bedrooms up to 6-bedroom homes. For the most part, we are very trying to be more active in the community. I am a marketing manager for the company.
Okay.
I came in as the assistant property manager in the beginning. The market was not in a good position where Conrex was at, but I did help flip a lot of the homes to where they're at right now, with our, where a lot of our residents reside at, but right now it's we're just focused more on just doing things that we need to do as far as in the community. I'm looking for more partnerships, especially in schools, inter schools. We do a lot of giveaways. We just actually just
You mean you're saying partnerships with the schools?
yeah, with partnerships with schools, any community providers, realtors, brokers, because our company right now is in the process of buying more homes in Indy.
Okay.
Not everybody can afford to buy a home right now, but a lot of times we do provide a program that we partner up with a local realtor that somebody may not got qualified for a loan, but they can rent a home from us, and then they can actually work with somebody that can help out with their finance, and we can work some type of referral program out during that way. That's one of the things that we actually kicked off earlier this year. Another thing is that we do we utilize third-party management, third-party management companies, just to help, with the property management aspect of it.
So when you say third party, you're saying if I'm a property management company, then I can come to you.
You come to us,
and you can manage that.
We can
property.
manage it as well.
Okay.
We do inherited tenants. That's kind of our biggest thing going on right now.
Yeah.
So the company is really growing. It's growing in the right direction. Right now, I think we have over 515 properties locally right now, and we're growing even more going into next quarter. But I'm just here just to kind of get our name out a little bit more for people to understand what we actually are doing here, just to build more of a presence, so people can refer back to our website. But my email can be reached at chapman@conrex.com. If anybody has any questions, or anybody that's looking to rent something, because I mean, you could be in an apartment, you could be paying $900, $950 for a 2-bedroom, and I could provide a house for you for a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath for literally the same price. So
and you'll be working toward owning that home,
exactly,
and not just renting.
Right. So it's a game changer right now. I know we have some really good competitors out there, but there are a lot of different things that we do differently. But the biggest thing is that we definitely want to be more of a presence. Definitely in the community. We actually have done a Harvest Fest give back. We donated all kind of trunks and treats for daycares. Just this past Halloween, we're actually sponsoring a couple families for Thanksgiving, just the essentials for Thanksgiving dinners and things like that. So we're actually we're just moving in that direction, especially with the holidays coming up, Christmas. We have all kind of things that we have planned for us. So
This is the season too.
Yeah, it is
It's about to
definitely
get cold, so people really
right.
people need cribs, need places to
Gotta
go
have a place to live.
for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But we've been in business for a little underneath 7 years now. But that's that's pretty much it for the most part. I mean,
We definitely got some questions for you
Yeah,
in regards to
definitely.
property
Not a
management
problem,
because
man.
that's a
Appreciate
vital
it.
piece of real estate.
Yes.
The real estate.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Tony McDaniel and Keith, you guys speak on what you guys do.
Go ahead, bro.
Here we go.
All right. Well, K&T Investment Development, we're basically an investment company. We teach how to build wealth in the real estate market. We're pretty much the Walmart of real estate is what we like to tell anyone.
Okay.
And to reach us, let me go ahead and plug the email. It's
Yeah,
K&T
sure.
Investment Developments @gmail.com. So
For sure.
And my phone number is area code 317-956-7717. But essentially what we do is we teach it. We don't hold back any of the information, much like what Cortes and Mike was talking about. Eric was talking about was how to become homeowners, how to get into the real estate, the investment part of it.
Yeah.
And really understanding that from the beginning all the way through the end, and we can help facilitate anything from the start of the purchase agreement through the acquisition, through the title company, all the things that are involved with
From
the
beginning to end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, one-stop shop. Yeah.
People think it's really hard to own a home. I mean, there's some things that you have. Yes, it's a 30 to 40 day process, but you guys can help make that process a lot smoother by helping them understand what they need first. I think the problem is that people go in ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
the
So
key,
they don't know.
Yeah, information is the key. And one thing that we've learned that I know is the more you know about something, the more it becomes easy for you.
For sure.
And for us, and let's be honest, the secrets to this industry has been kept from us. And so we need to get out there and I thank these brothers on the panel for coming in here today to be able to share some of the knowledge that we have, because that's the key.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the touch on what he was saying. That's what we do. We teach a brand. We have a retirement program. We work with you from start to finish. We go out and try to help people in the community. Our goal is to be able to provide housing for families that can afford it. Do low income financing, work in different areas, try to work with the city and build into other neighborhoods. Kind of get away from the habitat. People only think it's only habitat or INHP, and there's other ways to get into real estate. But where a lot of people fail is if you're going to get an investment game, you need a mentor or a coach.
Right.
And that's a service that we offer. If some people go in blind and then it doesn't work, they sell the asset and they feel like they failed.
A lot of people get discouraged because they don't fully understand how to get into it. And you're right. There's a lot of people who will hold that information from you because they're trying to hoard it.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, in reality, this is one thing we live by. If somebody want to come in here and learn how to do this, we're gonna teach them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna teach them. I mean, because this is our brand and how we do it.
Right.
They could take their own brand and go do. Even if they try to do the same thing, it's still something that they have to be passionate about and find their way to do it. You know what I'm saying? So we should not hoard information and not show people how to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, right?
Absolutely.
Too much
Show people how to do it.
unnecessary competition. That's the reason.
Right, and we look for, and we appreciate you guys allowing us to be on the show.
Yeah,
for sure.
And we look to collaborate with other people and other organizations to make our brand larger. Like I say, we try to be the one-stop shop. We offer property management. We have 24-hour maintenance and things of that nature. So
Maintenance? Wow. Okay.
yeah, we stage housings. We have furniture.
Wait. Explain the 24-hour maintenance.
Yeah. I know. I'm just like, wow. Like, wow.
Okay.
That's part of property management.
Let me take that one. Just as we walked in today, I was sitting there, and one of the residents at one of the assets called and said, "Hey, I was actually following up, making certain that the general contractors were there doing what they were supposed to do, and they confirmed it. But that's what I'm talking about. There was an issue with some heating, and it needed to be dealt with right away because it's 30.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's cold outside, and so we were able to facilitate that and take care of that and make sure that they were warm and had the heat and the furnace working the way it's supposed to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have someone on call. We have someone on call.
Yeah, that's
24
what.
hours a day, and we're able to take care of those emergencies. So, like I say, we have a whole program.
Right.
We do offer classes for people to come
Awesome.
take the class. It's a 2-hour class, and then to let you decide because it's not for everybody.
What can you do for that 2 hours? What is it? What does that consist of?
I can only. like we say, there's a lot of people that know a lot more than us.
Sure,
We
sure.
can only teach you what we know because it works.
Right, for sure.
So
for
in
sure.
those 2 hours, we'll show you what we know, and it works.
Okay.
And we'll teach our brand. And
So
if
just
you-
come.
In regards to what though? Like
Real
are you teaching?
estate,
Okay, you teaching them real
investment.
estate, investing.
Yes, investing.
Okay.
The process of home ownership.
Okay.
Cortes mentioned it earlier. There was programs now out there that will help the average person who doesn't
Okay.
have that, what we call it doesn't have that A buyer credit,
Right,
that can
right.
go in and really sit down with someone and discuss openly the potential of becoming a homeowner. So we know these ins and outs, and we're able to share that with our, with our friends. Is what we want to share it. And so
Right.
here's a program that says the person here that has a 540 or 560 credit score can now become a serious, can legitimately think about becoming a homeowner. I should
Absolutely.
say. And think about it seriously. And so we teach that, we share the information that we have, and it's freely given to our people. And that's the big thing.
Absolutely.
So when you ask us what do we teach, we just give up the information.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we have credit
That's
repair.
what's up.
For people
See,
that-
and me and Cortez
Yeah,
was talking
that's-
about that
yeah,
before this. It's amazing. I mean, there's so much information out there that we have at our disposal, but we don't use. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling Cortez, like we walked through our life, like even me myself, up until I was like 28, and I was like, man, I need to fix my credit. But that first Macy's card that you get for $250 when you're 19 years old, you max it out. You're like, yeah, it's free money.
Yeah.
It's not free money.
Right.
You messed
So
that thing out,
there's just so many different things that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Coming into our teen years and into adulthood. At this point in time, me and my lady have gotten our kids to a point where they're going to have like above 750 credit scores by the time they get out of college.
And then that's so
And
beautiful.
and that's
It is.
because we've been really studying and have a mentor. Shout out to DeMont Nixon. He has been a strong advocate for the community and getting. He wants to get everybody 750, 800 credit scores, and we should have them.
Yeah, we should.
Yes.
We don't know the power that we possess. When you have that amount in America, you gotta have good credit.
Yes.
That's the only way to navigate. You know what I'm saying? Everything is at your disposal. I was telling Cortez, I walked into a car dealership and was surprised myself. It was like, "What do you want?" Well, I said,
Yeah.
"Well, let me see."
Same thing, man.
When you have a decent credit score, they don't ask you for your
Check stubs or
check
nothing.
stubs.
Yeah, it's a game
You
changer.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't ask you for your
Yeah,
check stubs.
I remember going to car lot and they be like, "Oh, this your credit? That's you right there." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that Mustang right there." They be like, "No, that little Toyota over there. That's you. 2000, year 2000.
Hey, Cortez,
That's something we do.
you remember
Right.
the old
Zebra
saying?
seats."
They used to say you can't even buy a drink of water with 1,000 down because
Yeah, right,
your credit
right.
is so ate up. But so you're right. Credit is the key. It is definitely the key that opens up the
absolutely.
doors and broadens everything.
And we don't teach. We tell people in our class, we don't teach you how to become rich. We teach you how to become financially free. So the assets that we teach you how to obtain
Right.
will work for you.
Okay.
Right.
So we teach you how to make your money work for you while you sleep.
Man, that's big.
Oh, yeah.
That's very vital because not only y'all teaching real estate, but you teach credit repair, and you're teaching them how to create a business out of this. And what better time than to create a business than now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like that dude in the office, but guess what? He putting some benefits out there for businesses, so you might as well go get you one. You might as well jump in the game. But I was gonna ask Cortez.
Okay.
In regards to like the investment property, okay? Because this is, and then we're gonna talk about real estate in regards to like how do you get started. But for investment properties, what do you do? Like, say somebody has like $10,000 to $50,000. How do they get involved in investment properties?
Well, I mean, there's a numerous amount of ways, man. But I would definitely say, if a person has $10,000 to $50,000, I would definitely recommend that they go to like a tax sale, a surplus sale, and I also recommend that they go.
Explain that though, like
Yeah.
the tax surplus
Like
sale.
the surplus sale is just like the city has like a long list of properties that they do a certain time of the year, and they can basically look them up. They'll have like a list out, and for the most part, they'll have certain prices that they can bid on, and they can definitely drive around the properties before they buy them. A lot of people usually doesn't, and then once they bid on those properties, some people can walk away with a property that's $2,500 to $3,000, and I mean, And let's keep it real. Most people, they get their taxes, they take it, they blow it on stuff, and then
Right.
they in the same cycle all over again.
Right.
And really, the real, how can I say it, wealth is in ownership.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people definitely need to take a look at that. And also, the tax sale is great, but the only thing is that it's basically the same thing with the list. But, somebody can buy a property blindly, and then also, once they do that, they have to wait a year for the person who actually owns it to redeem it, which can take a little bit longer. But I also recommend that you get with a professional. If you get an inheritance of $100,000 or $50,000, don't just go out and just buy properties, and don't be doing what Cardi B said and be buying red bottoms, blood shoes. What you need to do is get with somebody.
It's amazing that don't nobody want those until the song come out.
Everybody getting blood shoes.
I still
thought
don't know
about
what they
getting some
are.
blood shoes. I didn't even know what they was. I was just like, what is
I
these
still
blood?
don't know what that is.
You get a professional, man, because a professional can tell you exactly what to do. You get with the realtor, and not just saying for my own purposes, but it can be anybody. But definitely, if you want to buy one, you definitely email Cortes Walker.
There you go.
But
There you go.
get with a professional because they can tell you the ins and out. They can tell you what your
Absolutely.
return on interest is going to be. They can tell you, the percentage that you're going to get on this property, the cap rate after taxes, insurance, maintenance, is like he said, property management, all those things. So it's just like it's easier for you to get with a professional, let them do the work, and then just like they said, your money is going to work for you. You know what I mean? So I would definitely recommend that somebody always get with a professional first before they just go and decide to do it themselves. Like you see an investment property, one of the major things that investors do, they look at the property and they get with the realtor and they say, how much is this property worth? And so say this property is worth $300,000, but this is after it's fully repaired. And an investor might say, hey, I want to get this property at 70% of the repair value. So say, for instance, they get it for 70%, they're buying this property. It's $300,000 property. They're buying it at maybe $150,000. That's basically 50% of repair value or whatever the case that may be. And then they minus the repairs. So you can make an offer contingent on that if you want to do like a flip, or you can make an offer contingent on if it's a rental property. So there's different ways that you can do different things, but I also recommend that people partner with people that they trust. Just like you said, if
That's
you know
the key.
somebody has good credit, you go in the bank with a proposal. You let them know that this is your proposal, this is what you plan to do, and this is how you plan on paying them back. A lot of banks will definitely, give you a loan based off of your proposal, and you can go and buy your first rental property, or you can definitely partner with somebody who has the cash, and you can offer them some type of equity, or you can offer them, if you're doing a flip, you can basically say, hey, I'm going to make you the first lien holder in this property, so when this property does sell, you'll get paid out first. So there's just so many different ways, man, that you can do it. And I mean, I strongly recommend for like the young people, man. I'm a real big advocate for them to get involved into it, because a lot of us, man, just like you said, a lot of people, they just don't know. It's not that they don't want to do it, they just don't know. Like they're not teaching that at school, they're not teaching credit, they're not teaching ownership. You know what I mean? They're teaching us to be in debt. So that's why, I mean, I just say this for anybody. If you want to get started, you know what I mean, definitely don't just get started for yourself. Get started to build a legacy for your family.
Absolutely.
And I had a question. Can you break down the difference, just for our viewers who aren't well versed with the vocabulary, real estate vocabulary, flipping, rental properties? Because the average person may say, "Well, I thought that was the same thing."
No, that's not at all. Flipping is, you're flipping for a profit, and it's the same thing with what our retailers do. They buy stuff. Say, for instance, even if you go to the beauty supply, they buy and weave. They buy and weave at like $20, $40 a pack, and then they're gonna turn around and sell it for $100 and $120 a pack.
Right.
And that's what investors are doing. They're buying, they're buying these properties at a low value. They're fixing them up, and then whatever else they can sell them for, they're getting that off top. Rental properties.
So you buy the weave. Then you
buy the yaki.
You put it on a mannequin.
Yeah.
You gotta get the glue. You fix it up.
Yeah. You buy the
Curl
yaki,
it, iron it out.
16-inch. the 16-inch
then-
Yaki or the Brazilian
You sell it
wavy.
for more.
Brazilian wavy for $50, and then you sell it for $300.
There you go.
You know
So
what I
is
mean?
it like buying wholesale and then selling retail?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is, and
Okay,
that's how I got involved.
Yeah.
And then the rental properties is you're buying, and there's a couple ways you can do it. But rental properties, you're buying, properties at low value or whatever type of rent you want. So, say for instance, you buy a house that's $20,000-$30,000, 20 or 30,000, and you say I want my rent to at least be, $600 to $700 a month. You know that 6 times 12, that's $7,200 a year, minus taxes. You know what I mean? Insurance, property management, and any other repairs that may need to be made. So, and you average, that return, a year, you're gonna find out what your percentage is, and you buy that at a low value as well. Now, rental properties, I really suggest that some people just buy them cash if they can, but if you can't, buy a fixer-upper that doesn't need a lot of work. You know what I mean? Pay the low fee, until you pay it off. And then from that point on, you're in ownership in like 3 to 5 years. But the thing is that people don't see that. They just see the now. But if you think about the bigger return investment, you know what I mean? That's
Right. We have to get out of that mindset that we're gonna flip it and make 50, 60 grand or, in a month. Some of this takes to where you have to buy about 7 properties. You know what I'm saying? And get one fixed up and rent that out. Get one fixed. Shout out to Antonio Listenby, because he's out there in Brightwood and is it not Brightwood? Speedway. He has a lot of properties in Speedway that he's flipping and turning into some beautiful homes. And he started with 1, 2, 3, 4. So eventually that money that he's making on profit from renting or selling them, I mean, you get to 10, 12 grand a month and just residual.
income,
So you got to start somewhere.
But society is setting us up. All these rental places, like you can rent rims, rent furniture. Society is making it hard to teach people that, hey, you look for ROI, return on your investment.
Right.
That's that long term. You get these rentals. If you got 8 rentals, that's coming in every month. When you go rent rims, you just rent rims.
Exactly.
But they're making it easy, and people understand real estate, if you do it right, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Right.
And that's the hardest thing when you mentor somebody in this game. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Right.
This can make you retire. This can be for your kids,
Right.
if you do it right.
Absolutely.
But one shout out real quick too.
Okay. For sure.
We do have mentors, and we offer, what I'm trying to say, we mentor young men, and we have a young man who's not with us this afternoon.
Yes.
It's Mikhail Cobb.
Shout out to Mikhail.
He's a little under the weather, so we want to say,
little brother.
he's watching us. We want to say, we give
shout
a
out
shout
to
out to him.
Yes.
But we do
Absolutely.
work with the youth, and we're trying to get them involved in this as well.
Good,
But I just
man.
want to give
There you
them a
go.
shout out.
We had some kids on our show last week, young entrepreneurs. Oh man,
Unbelievable.
I mean, these little dudes, man. I
Unbelievable.
mean, and young women, man. Come on.
Unbelievable,
I mean,
man.
just know all kinds of business savvy. I mean, the dude wasn't leaving till he sold or something. I mean, the little guy. I mean, he wasn't leaving till he sold something. But that's that determination. Me, if I try to sell something to a person, as soon as they tell me no, I'm done. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna put that on credit card. There's a website I can go to. He's like, look, I got a credit card swiper right here. Come on, go ahead and do it now.
10 years old, man.
I mean, but that's the kind of diligent consistency that we need, our mindset. And you teaching young kids this. I mean, that's beautiful. So that's big that y'all have a program that helps implement that, for young people, because they want to learn. You know what I'm saying? We're the ones holding back, thinking that they're too young. They're not gonna get it. Nah, we need to put them in the game.
And
Got to put them in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of credit card swiping, man, somebody did that to me with a mixtape, man. I was like,
Oh my.
he was ready to. I was like, man, I got his credit card. He was like, hey, bro.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah, gold teeth and everything. I was like, man.
Hey, man, come on, man.
I was stuck, man. I was like, here, man.
Listen, man, you gotta warn me, man. You gotta warn me.
You a hustler, man. I respect. I was like, here.
Man, you got a credit.
We had a viewer that said something important about owning. What did he say? I think it was Andrew. Shout out to Andrew. Thanks for commenting.
Yeah, if you're going to be a landlord, then learn how to be a handyman. Otherwise, a handyman will cost.
There you go.
That's true.
So is that where property management come in?
Absolutely.
Come on, Eric.
Come in at.
Is that where property management come in?
Well, I mean, I want to piggyback on what you guys are talking about, as far as
we do second chance. You guys talking about second chance financing, but we assist with people that have less perfect credit for second chances. So people that are struggling,
For sure.
to get apartments, or they may have had a bad criminal record. Or
What is the minimum though? Like, what's the minimum credit you can like go and weasel your way into?
with us, the minimum credit is 540.
Okay,
That really that low?
That is the
man,
lowest.
How's the interest
Everybody
rate
should
though
have
with
a
that?
We got
I mean,
That's the lowest, because I mean,
What do y'all wait for?
but the thing is that a lot of people don't know exactly where they stand at. So
Okay.
I encourage people to pull your credit first before you really apply.
Right.
And challenge
'Cause
everything.
I don't want them to apply.
Hey, get your credit. Hey, listen. Get your credit report and challenge everything.
I'm talking about dispute.
Hey, listen.
that's another topic.
I'm telling you. I mean, y'all laughing.
I know.
I'm listening to me, man.
what you talking about.
Even if you know
I know exactly.
that cell phone bill is yours.
I know he's right. Absolutely.
Listen,
I got the
dispute
documentation.
everything, man. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a year old, 5 years old, a month old. Dispute everything, because I'm telling you right now. And look, listen, we laughing, man, but
So serious.
listen. I mean, I'm being funny, but really more serious though.
Right.
If y'all dispute everything and y'all have like 20 things on there, there's a possibility that they all might get, pulled off, or half of them.
Right.
So that puts you in a better position.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What he's saying also is that credit bureaus have 30
I was
days.
just going to go.
Yeah.
They have 30 days to review,
respond.
to respond to
Respond
if
to
that's
yours.
yours or not. So when you dispute something,
Yep.
or when you
Man.
challenge something,
Dispute every damn thing on there.
Send as many letters as you can.
Hey, listen, everything.
and you keep sending them.
Yeah,
sending them.
Yeah, keep disputing. And then even if they say, nah, listen, you owe this, and here's the proof. Okay, I owe $800. Can I pay $250 and you get it removed? Yes. Okay, bet. Here, I'll pay that right now.
here's
he's on
another
something.
nugget.
That's true.
Here's another
I'm telling
nugget. The more you dispute, how often can you dispute? You can dispute every what? Like I think they review it for 7 to 14 days. So then you can
Every 10 days.
you can do it
every
twice a month.
You can
Yeah.
Every 10 days, you can send it in. Again.
So
Hey,
what
Out
happens
here
is
disputing right now.
these companies
Man, dispute everything.
these
Yeah,
companies
why not?
don't have time to keep
every 10
to
days.
respond.
Yeah, to keep responding.
So eventually it's gonna come off. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
you
saying?
know.
You just got to be like a bug. And
Yeah, that
bug them.
paperwork comes. Oh man, who said? Oh man, that's Eric. Man, again. Man, let him have it, man. I mean, it's like his 8th dispute.
Yes.
He's
on it.
relentless.
Right. He's definitely on it. He's
But
definitely
to
on it.
answer the
works.
handyman question, the more you can do yourself on your assets, the better
sure.
off you are, because you cut down on your construction costs.
I agree with that,
Sure.
but then you also can just call K&T Investment Developments and we'll take
All
care
day,
of it.
all day.
You know.
The Walmart of it.
Yes.
I'm telling you, man.
Yes.
The one-stop shop. But you know what though? Listen, I want to ask y'all, how important is property value?
That's important. I'll take a little bit of that one.
for sure.
I just want to mention one thing that I think we left out.
Okay.
Real estate is the one thing that appreciates in value. Unlike a
Explain
vehicle.
that.
Yeah, well, okay. Appreciation means that you're going to gain.
Right.
Depreciation is you're going to lose.
Jewelry.
Yeah, and I'll put it to you like if you go and buy
Some
something, a vehicle, for instance.
Yeah.
You buy a brand new Corvette. You go to the Chevrolet. You pay 45, 50,000, whatever you pay. As soon as you drive off the lot, it depreciates in value anywhere from 5 to 10
10,000.
grand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just went in there and basically gave away 10 to 15,000 because the car is going to depreciate as soon as you drive
Right,
off.
right.
But with real estate, it's the only asset out there that is going to appreciate and gain value over time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And in Indianapolis, Cortes and Eric, and I know my partner knows this, we're one of the highest states in the country that has the appreciation value. So that's the reason why
Wow.
we get all these investors coming out
For sure.
from everywhere wanting to come here into our market and
Right.
buy these assets.
Right.
So value is very important.
It
I
is,
think the
yeah.
question was, is value important? And it is. It's very important
Property
because
value,
you must understand that. And then do your math backwards, as Cortes tried to explain, so you understand your cap rates and all that stuff.
Is this? And I don't know if this kind of. Sorry, Ebony. I don't know if this kind of ties into this. It's more so for education. But when companies or people come in and buy properties, to put a charter school in, and then they dip out. Are they utilizing that facility just for the property value of it, or what? Like, because I'm seeing that a lot. Like, a lot of these companies will come in town and they'll buy these spots, and then they're gone in like a year.
That's what they do. I mean, it's all about the money and profit and what you can get out of it. And so when corporations come in here, and I don't get mad at their business model because it is about making money.
Sure.
But my thing is, why not us? Why not us
For sure.
do what we do in our own community and buy these things and become homeowners and set ourselves up to have some long-term wealth?
I agree.
Eli Lilly does it for their people. They buy houses in the neighborhood.
What?
Eli Lilly does that. And then when they fly their people in, if they're going to be here for a month on a study, they put them in their own house.
Yeah, they do.
And then they have that.
idea.
They add that to their portfolio, and they have real estate now.
Yeah.
I know
Big
certain
locations.
like big churches. I know Eastern Star is doing that as well.
Yeah.
They have their own real estate area.
Really?
So they
Yeah.
buy up.
Like the Solid Rock thing, right?
Yeah.
Like on 30th Street, they own, I think, the apartments right next to the church.
Just
So
east.
Okay.
Everybody is getting involved.
West.
Everybody's getting into real estate.
More you know.
Makes sense.
I mean, do you guys think that, as far as us, that gentrification is like hurting us, and that, as far as ownership?
I think it is if you don't have the knowledge. It
That's
definitely
it.
is
Yeah,
because a lot of us are getting pushed out of our neighborhoods and
Exactly.
they're raising our property value. Just like, over there near 46 and College. A lot of us are getting pushed out of there.
Yeah.
A lot of people are getting pushed out of Mapleton Fall Creek.
Oh,
Yes.
man,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's 25th in New Jersey, 16th in Ralston. I mean,
Because of the
All of
rise
these
in
areas
property
used
value.
to be-
Downtown is developing. So
It is.
They're way
Yes,
they're
I've seen that.
pushing, They're pushing everybody outward.
I've
seen
so
that.
all the historical areas are worth a lot more. Than
So
where they
what
were.
can we
Wow.
do to combat that?
education, because what they're doing is they come and wave a little money in your face, and you say, "Oh, okay," and then you gone, and they give you 50,000, and they know in another 60 days when they redo it, it's worth 300,000. But if we don't get educated on your own property, on what you own, some of the people living in the historic area never know that.
Right.
And then they sell it for little nothing, and somebody else comes and they look a year later and see their house for
Like
sale for
Irvington.
500,000.
Irvington is a really historic
Irvington.
area.
Little Flower.
Broad Ripple.
Broad Ripple.
Yeah, all those.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, if you don't educate, we just buy because we can. We have to start educating ourselves on what we buy, how to buy, and we won't run into those problems.
And the purpose, and really having a vision and the purpose of what it is you're doing. You know, this is a passion of mine. It's not a job for me. I wake up in the morning, I eat, sleep, and drink real estate. It's just one of those things.
Wow.
But, you know, honestly, it's about being able to help and educate not only just our people, but anyone who has a desire to be free from the status quo.
For sure.
It isn't about working at Ford and Allison's because y'all know those jobs are gone. You understand what I'm saying?
And
They're
you're
no
disposable.
longer there. Yes.
You're disposable.
We met the gentleman earlier, the IT guy who was explaining to us that, you know, technology is here. So if you don't get on to something that's going to have some meaning and has some relevance, you will be left behind. And real estate is one of those, is really one of those arenas where just the average person, and you understand what I'm saying to you, the average Joe
Absolutely.
can come into this mug and demonstrate.
Right. This is I'm gonna give y'all a plug right now, but Gary, it looks like crap right now.
He's been talking, man, about Gary
Man,
for the
I
past
keep
year.
telling y'all,
Detroit.
they are about to fix Gary up. They waiting for everybody to leave.
Oh, yeah.
And then these
Oh, yeah.
companies, and usually it's people that's not even from this country.
Yeah.
They come in and buy up these areas and fix them up and build them out, and all of a sudden it's flourishing. You know, and I mean, we have to keep watch on that too, because some of these poor neighborhoods, all they're doing is waiting for it to deteriorate to the point where it has to be bought or something has to be done to it. So, you know, what you guys are saying is we need to take ownership of that and start. Another thing is like, I know Patrick was talking about property value.
Yes.
When we do buy houses, we got to keep them up. You know, we got to start taking care of the lawn and the neighborhood, and you don't want you don't want to be this guy on the block. They don't never cut the grass. You know what I'm saying?
We call that
was
curb
my
appeal.
question.
We call that curb appeal.
Go ahead, Ebony.
Because you had talked about real estate appreciating, but can it depreciate? Because, like Ray said, that was actually going to be my question. Because, in my mind, the land never depreciates.
It's the
But
improvement
it's
to the
what
land.
you put on top of it,
Correct.
right? The
Right.
improvement
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
it depreciate.
Right.
And so, yeah, like Ray was saying, do we just don't really, I guess, because I had this conversation plenty of times about how we don't, even as homeowners, we don't know that this is an investment that we just purchased.
Right.
And so we allow it to depreciate, not realizing that this is my first investment that I'm allowing to just go under, which makes everybody in the neighborhood's
Suffer.
property also depreciate.
That's very
But we don't, our community specifically, we don't understand that. Can you help us to understand this? please?
Foreclosures
I
hurt
can.
you. You get a bunch of foreclosures in your neighborhood, and then when a realtor comes in and they try to assess your property and the last house is sold in 30 days, you got 5 foreclosures in a block radius, your value just went down the drain.
Right.
Even if your asset is not in bad shape, it still is depreciating. Your property value is going down because of your surroundings.
Right.
So not only do you have to try to keep your own up, you have to watch when you move in these neighborhoods and see what's going on before you make that investment.
You know what's crazy is when someone comes in and assesses your neighborhood, they get to pick which houses they want to. That's what I don't like. You know, because I had I refinanced my home and the value went up. But you know, the dude, when I got to seeing the houses that he picked, I'm like, man, look, man, the one next to me, you could have picked that one, you could have picked the other one. You know what I'm saying? But I guess that makes it fair that they go in and pick whichever ones they want. You know, so it's important for everybody to contribute to keeping the property.
Well, they try
up.
to pick something comfortable to what you have.
Sure.
So if you got a 3-bedroom there, they try to compare it to a 3-bedroom because they can't. It's not fair for them to compare it to the 5-bedroom or the 2-bedroom.
Right.
Yeah. So they just have to go with what's in your area.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Very good question, though, in terms of that value, how a property can lose value. And if you're not careful with the way you do the upkeep, if you're not a voice in your community explaining to your neighbors that this is us, this is our little part of America,
Right.
and we can continue to keep our values up.
Right.
Do the
Well,
things
there's a
get
way
your
to do
values up.
that. Somebody got
you
crazy
know-
recently.
You know, we were just talking
Sent a
about
letter.
we were just talking
Look,
about the
If you
value.
come to this area, you need to. Yeah. I mean, there's a way to do that.
Well, they do it through homeowner associations.
Yes,
they
yes,
do those,
yes.
and there's a fee
Oh,
if
man, they
you
don't
live
play.
in some little area where you got a little gated community, a little sign in front of your neighborhood. Those homeowner associations will mandate that you do certain things, and they will keep you from doing certain things. Because sometimes, when we get at home, we want to go in there and put the biggest privacy gate we can put up.
Yeah.
And
Right.
if it doesn't fit in those covenants and restrictions, you ain't, you're not doing those
Right.
things.
Right.
And it's all designed to keep the value in that particular area where it needs to be on the which is the incline.
Yeah, and where we live at, I was happy, man, to see them build a Meyer there now.
Okay.
And then there's, other businesses. So I'm thinking, okay, the value is going to go up because more money has been,
Oh yes.
generated, in those areas. So
I mean, that definitely helps, man. I think it also depends on the economy. You know what I mean? Just like, about what, 7, 8, 9 years ago, in around 2008, the market crashed.
Absolutely.
And everybody's property value went down.
Right.
But people have to understand that's the only thing about real estate. There's an up and down effect. So when the market crashed, a lot of investors, they love that. So what they do is they come in and they buy these properties at low value. You know what I mean? They fix them up. Just like in Detroit, that's where I'm from. So they'll take a whole block and buy all these properties at $2,000 to $3,000. You know what I mean? 7, 8 years, property value went up $40,000, $50,000. Just like they did with Mapleton Fall Creek. They took the houses, and this was around 2 years ago when I was still, more so learning. And a lot of investors do this. They watch those houses get bought, and someone came in and bought like a block of houses for like $20,000 a piece, fixed them up, property value skyrocketed. Then after that, they turned around and sold them for like 120. You know what I mean?
And that sets the
120,
precedence in the area.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. So people have to understand too that just because that there's a bad time going on doesn't mean that it's gonna last forever. So it's important for them, it's important for them to hold that value. Now, there is some neighborhoods that, I guess I want to say that they want to keep bad for a particular reason. Like there's a reason. They want to keep Brightwood the way it is.
Forces
You know what I mean? They want to keep that area that way, and it's definitely sad to say, but at the end of the day, it's still up to us. You know what I mean, to make sure that we take care of our area make sure that we go to council meetings,
end
make
of the
sure
day.
that we patrol.
Right.
You know, we see trash in the area.
Clean it
Nobody
up.
wants to pick it up. You know what I mean? But it still starts somewhere in the community. So
Speak on why they wanted to keep it that way.
What's your question?
Yeah, that's so.
Speak on why they wanted to keep it that way. I mean, we're the gray area, so we're
I mean-
unscripted,
Yeah.
unedited.
Get great, Cortes.
You know, come on.
all right, let me go ahead and take the flags off now.
Yes.
I mean, it's just gentrification, man, and they want to keep, you know, the poor for the poor. You know what I mean? The rich with the rich. They don't want that area. Yeah, they want to keep it separated. That's why you see the township schools. Why are the township schools so much better than the public schools? Why are public schools being shut down? Because they want to keep that way for a certain reason. You know, there's a reason why the schools are being shut down. You know, it's harder for kids to get more education. Kids at townships schools are being educated more. You know, a lot of people have to understand that. That's why it's very important for us to understand property value, for us to take care of our properties, for us to go to council meetings. A lot of us don't know the law, so if we don't know the laws, we're not being educated. So if we're not being educated, then things are being stripped from us. And that's where it all starts. So I definitely, you know, recommend for people to really start getting out here and, you know, evaluating their properties, evaluating their areas, even evaluating their, like, the stores. You know, even if you notice, if you go, and it's so sad because if you go to different stores in different areas, say if you went to a Kroger's in Carmel, you know what I
I was just
mean?
about to
And
say
then you go to
Boy.
somewhere, you know,
You want to
Kroger's
pick
on
up
the
the
east side.
trash. You know
You
what
know
I'm
what I
saying?
mean?
You walk in, man, who put this down here?
Yeah, Kroger's on
You
the
want to
east
pick it
side.
up and throw it away.
It's going to be two totally different
Totally different,
stores.
yeah.
Or if you go, you're not even going to find a Whole Foods in
you
42nd
won't.
and Post.
No, you won't.
You look,
We can't even afford
you ain't
that.
picking up nothing out there.
But
we're
you'll
gonna
find
slow it
liquor
down.
stores. You'll
Oh,
find
yeah.
liquor
Yeah.
stores all
Yeah.
day.
Find liquor stores all
You don't
day.
shop there either, though.
You ain't gonna get no roundabout on 30th and College neither.
No.
No, you ain't getting no roundabout. People be crashing, running into each other. You ain't gonna find that.
That's a whole nother subject matter.
Oh, yeah, man, it is.
But I mean,
But your point though, on Kroger though, bro.
That's a good point.
Nah, I mean your point though, man. Because like I was just thinking this man the other day because I live down the street from one off of 116th and Oleo.
Right.
You know, we live in Geist, but man, that is like the nicest Kroger I have ever seen, man. And the people just like super nice, man. I push my cart like, man.
The dollar stores. The dollar stores in Carmel
this is
are
crazy.
immaculate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You go to the dollar store on like Lafayette.
Organized.
Yeah.
Man, who's running this
Crazy,
place?
Man, you
Right,
go
you
to
know
the
the
dollar
sad
store
thing about
24th in Arlington, it got bulletproof glass in there.
You know
What?
the sad thing
Wow,
about
yeah.
it though? The tax rolls, when you look at the tax rolls, we talked earlier about,
Sure.
you know, property values and things like that and what the city is trying to do to get the revenue up in areas on the tax rolls. Okay, so we're talking now about some things that are deep in
Sure.
the political
For sure,
arena.
for sure.
So we
Okay.
want to be still gray area.
Yeah,
That's why we're on the gray area.
Yeah,
Right,
thanks,
that's right.
It's gray
But
area,
I'm just
man.
saying that when you look at the number of individuals in the inner city
Okay.
versus the number of individuals outside these areas that we had just spoke about, why is it the disparity is so crazy to me? Because it's more here than
Right.
it is there.
Absolutely.
So why is it that we get less here and there's more there?
Right.
Because Cortes touched on the tension is in the energy and everything is
sure.
pushed towards a different area. But that's what bothers me. When we have so many different people, or is an area that has as much revenue generating as it is here, but the attention for the trash cleanup, the attention for the concrete, the attention for the sidewalks, the attention for the school buses and the lighting and all that isn't as attractive as it
It's
would
not
be
a
in those
priority.
other
Right,
places.
right.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
They
man.
just
That
tell you
just
follow the
bothers me.
mayor's action center.
So
Yeah.
we should take more accountability though. I mean, those are our areas.
Just
Right.
like
Right.
we touched on, and Ebony said it, and Cortes answered the question. In my opinion, I thought very nicely. It's about education. It's about
Absolutely.
understanding your position.
Absolutely.
It's about going to these council meetings. It's about getting in touch with your senator, the people
Yes.
who are a part of the legislation, and becoming a voice. Because
Yes.
if we sit back and do nothing, then guess what? The result is exactly what you're doing. You're going to get nothing.
You know what's crazy is that most African American people think that that's boring.
Yeah.
To sit in a council meeting and talk about what they should do to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Not cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing here? You know, and those are the things that matter. Because I went to and this is kind of off subject, but I went to a a meeting that was supposed to be where you're talking with officers in the mayor's office who are like in between. This is the mayor's office is people here to sit and ask you what we should do about police. You know, it was about 10 people in that room.
I know, it's sad.
No.
10 people in that room. All this stuff that's happening out here, and people are going crazy, and this and that. And it's 10 people in a council meeting explaining why. And, you know, and what that says is that the community doesn't care. So when they go back to the mayor's office and they say, well, it was only 10 people in the room, this is what these 10 people said.
But you know,
they look at
does
that like,
sometime-
this 10 people ain't enough to tell us
but
what we need to do.
But sometimes stuff like that, man, people don't even know either. Stuff like that is not heavily promoted.
For sure,
You know what I
absolutely,
mean? It's not gonna be heavily
But again,
promoted.
accountability. We have to go out there and
Thank
look
you.
and find stuff
Thank
like that
you.
as well.
And nor is it really taught. And nor is it really taught to us. And so, to your point, it goes back to just that the thing that everything springboards off of, which is education, understanding what it is,
Absolutely.
and understanding what's coming down the pipeline. Because,
Right.
man, as he said, there's just powers to be that is trying to keep certain things the way they need to be.
Right.
And thank goodness for this panel. Thank goodness for Gray Area Media for having us here,
Sure.
so that we can
Sure.
kind of talk about, hey,
Absolutely.
there is a different way. We don't all have to be, hoopers, rappers. We don't all have to be, all
Absolutely.
this. We can put on our jeans. We can put on a sport coat. We can go out here and articulate ourselves in a fashion where we can make a difference, both in our
Absolutely.
pockets and in our homes.
You can have
Absolutely.
a portfolio, a real estate portfolio, and don't have to be Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
or don't have to own or be.
And
a
it's
Colts
much
player.
easier.
Yes.
It's much easier to own a business than to be a professional
celebrity.
player.
Yes.
You don't know. I mean, you know how many people is trying to be. How many spots?
Man.
I mean, you got the D League, the G League, to the C League, to the B League.
Yeah.
And those guys are wonderful players.
And they don't want to see this man, so they don't want to see him.
You know, and I mean, and there's so many. I mean, and that's not to say don't go after your dreams. It's just to say have a backup plan
Right.
if that doesn't work.
Right.
You know, how many times do players and athletes get money and they lose it within a span of 2 years and be completely broke? You know, it's because they don't have the knowledge and education to understand things like real estate and property investment, property management, these things that we're talking about today, which is why we're having this discussion. There's so many different things that we can do as a people. And we have to, it starts with, like Pat said, with accountability.
Absolutely.
One, we need to start taking care of our neighborhoods and our properties and, you know, and making it an investment. If you're renting a home, let's talk about that. Renting versus owning. Some people are trapped in the renting phase. I can remember when I evaluated living in and I'm not going to name these places. This place is a nice place, but I remember.
We're in the gray area now.
Hey,
You gotta be careful.
keep it great.
Okay.
gotta be careful.
It was up on Allisonville.
Okay.
But this was a nice place. And I was paying close to $9.44 a month for like 4 years. And the rent was increasing.
Yeah.
Man, I looked at the numbers. I said, man, for 4.5 years, I paid almost $50,000 to $60,000 to rent from somebody. And I have no
Equity or nothing.
equity and owning and none of that. That could have been toward my own house. From that point on, I said, you know what? I'm getting me a house. I'm not renting any longer. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
just killing me, ain't you?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Eric.
I'm sorry.
But people are not. They're leading us to believe that we can't do it.
Right.
Right.
They're leading us
Right.
to believe that, oh, you can't get no house. You don't have perfect credit. You can't get no house.
Right.
You'd be surprised that some of the people come to our class and be like, man, if I hadn't known that a long time ago,
Yeah.
I would have bought a
I'd
house.
have done
Yeah.
because I didn't know those programs. Well, I didn't know if I had a 550. We can get you done with a 550. Man, they always told me you got to have a 700 to get a house. People don't know, so what they do, they go throw their money in rent. But that mentality, we want it right now. Your credit bad, but you give me $1,100 a month, I'll let you move in.
Right.
So you give me $2,200, you can move in. Don't worry about your credit.
Right.
And that's what we do, sign the paper.
Man, that's
Because
awesome.
we want that showpiece, and to everybody in the world, oh, we got a house.
Right.
But you don't have nothing.
Right. Right.
So what do y'all
it's all
say-
attainable.
So what do y'all say to people? Because I mean, I've heard this too. I mean, I've heard from, people, that have money, and they say that they will never buy a house. They would rather rent.
They rather rent.
So I mean, what do y'all say to that? I mean, because,
Responsibility.
I mean, with that much money, I mean, it becomes a maintenance thing, right?
Yes, responsibility. People
You can afford
don't want
to.
They don't want
the
the
responsibility.
responsibility.
Those
Right,
people
right,
with that
right.
kind of money,
Yeah.
they got somebody in their hand, in their business all the time. Like Tiger Woods' yacht, it costs him $1 million a year if it don't move.
That's crazy.
That's a waste. So they don't want to deal with that.
Let me
They
borrow
don't
that
want
yacht.
that phone call.
Come on,
Tiger, let me borrow that
Yeah.
yacht. Right.
Yeah, like some people say that it is a bad investment to buy a house, but they'll take their money and invest in the stock market. I mean,
It depends on what your motive
What
is,
your motive
right?
is. That's what I was gonna say. Whatever your motive is, but I know a lot of our tenants. I mean, I have people that are paying $1,500-$1,600 for rent right now, but a lot of them are either they've transferred to Indianapolis for
around.
jobs,
Right.
Military.
Right.
So they're not sure that they're really going to be
sure.
here
For sure.
for
Right.
the long run.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they
Right.
really think about, well, I'd rather just rent a house right
And
now.
that's a good reason.
I need a space, and they have families.
Yeah.
And they want to,
want
they have other
something
people,
nice.
right?
and
They want something
some
nice.
people, and
So
that's
in that situation, and we do have a lot of people like that. But then, I do have people that just don't know anything about actually owning a home.
Right.
They're so used to renting. They
Right.
grew up in a market. Their parents rented,
Right.
so they don't know the process. But I encourage them. Of course, it's our business to keep people in the homes, but
for sure.
at the end of the day, I want people to feel comfortable where they're at right now, but then understand where they're going.
Right.
So I try to give them a direction when it does come up to a time where I want them to renew, and that they say, well, I'm looking to maybe build a home, but are you actually talking to somebody?
Right.
Do you have a realtor that you're working with? And that's where that's why my networks come in, and I always provide them with somebody that they can speak with, and then that can possibly help them out later on.
Absolutely.
But they can always take that class from K&T. And then
There you go. You got a class right now.
K&T Investment Developments.
You've already
at
actually
gmail.com.
answered it already as far as mentoring youth. But if you could expound a little bit more on if you're willing to partnership with other organizations or just mentor any youth who want to learn more about real estate.
actually, we have an internship,
Okay.
and Mikhail is our first intern.
Yes.
What's the age limit? Because intern tells me teenage and up.
You
What
probably
about
have
younger
at least be
children?
16, so you can kind of understand, and we ask you and your parents. We've had 4 youth come to a seminar, and Mikhail's friends now are interested because they know he's interested. So you have to come with your parents and go to the seminar, and 16 and above, and we actually teach them how to prepare after college to do that. Like Mikhail is in our internship program. He's learned. He does our openings now at our presentations.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So he's learning
Experience.
the business.
Right.
So once he gets out of college, he said he wants to do real estate.
Right.
He'll already have that knowledge and be prepared to add
Awesome.
it to college now, because ain't nothing guaranteed. No athletes, no sports, no nothing. But we sitting in real estate now. When you go home, where you at? In real estate.
Yeah.
When you go to the store, you're in real estate.
Absolutely.
So you can't lose. So we're trying to get you
everywhere.
interested all. We're actually going to sit down and try to put a program together for youth.
Right.
We go out and asset a property or go out and fix a drywall or something. We take the youth with them and teach them a trade, get them with our DC to get them to learn, so we can help get them off the streets. And the kids that want to learn, we want
Right.
to work with the people that want to dream. Like we always say,
Right.
you can't stand out if you don't know how to fit in.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Michael X Banks, shout out to Michael X Banks, and Malik and Raheem were a couple of the young fellas that was on here last week. I was telling y'all that sold me before they left up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Great young salesmen.
Yeah.
They want to learn about real estate. So get in touch with Michael X Banks. I think he wants to sign. I think he asked what the cost was, and he wants to get them signed up for your course
And that's what
and work with you guys on educating the young people on the.
And our information is available, and you can call either Keith or myself.
Yeah, area code 317-956-7717. I'll repeat that. That's area code 317-956-7717. That's direct to me, Keith Safford, and I'll be more than happy to, bring you on and show you what it is that we do and have you become a part of it. You can also reach us at KNT Investment Developments at gmail.com. KNT or KT Investment Developments at gmail.com. Correction, my fault.
Man, that's a great question. A
I
young lady, go ahead.
I had a question about just to, I guess, help investors know a little bit more about. I guess they call it broad forecasting. So I think about if you're an investor in stocks, as Pat talked about stocks, and if you're investing, like I get so excited because I'm invested in Apple, so I'm excited when the new iPhone comes out or whatever, because I know that's gonna probably help me out financially in my investment. And so when it comes to real estate, I kind of think of the same things. Like, are there things that you should be forecasting? Then you should really be looking at, like you said, if you see a neighborhood and it looks like a good deal, 10 years down the line, is this going to be a good deal for me, type of thing? Are these things that you should consciously be thinking about when you're thinking about investing?
We try to get people, when they come through our class, if you work with us with the full program, we try to put a plan together for you as the individual. Like, we have a broker that works for us, so if we go to that side, we can do that. Everybody is different. Everybody is different credit, everybody's mentality, everybody's education. So we take a one-on-one approach, hold your hand per se, and walk you through it to cater to you. Because you can make those crucial mistakes. Like he said, you can just get somebody, hey, you got good credit, they'll take you and sell you a bunch of stuff, and then you're stuck.
Right.
And that's what, and we run into those people. Man, I'm scared. Can you help me get out? I bought this house. It doesn't have a clean title. I'm stuck with a bunch of liens. And they come to us and they're in trouble.
Right.
So, like you say, if you get that person and you cater to them, we build a portfolio for the individual.
Right.
And that's what makes us different. We give you that one-on-one so you don't fail.
Awesome.
And that's what you got to do. So if you go in that neighborhood, you got to do the research. But we don't want research. We want this thing is money.
Right.
And people don't want to put in the time to protect their own interest.
Right. Can you guys explain having more than one property and like the homestead credits? Like, some people will get a property and then buy another property. In the state of Indiana, you can only own one and get the homestead credit, which will sharply decrease your taxes on that annually. If you have another one, you're paying full taxes no matter where it is. So can you guys go into why, like, once you buy a property, be careful about buying another one unless you plan on selling it or renting it or whatever you may have, but explain that a little bit.
Everything after your first property is non-owner occ.
Okay.
You can only have, per se, for the one owner occupied.
Okay.
So that's when you gonna know anything after that, they say is an investment.
Right.
So there's no way really around that.
Okay. So you're gonna be paying for, you gotta be buying and selling real quick.
The government's smart about that. You can own 50 houses, but only one of them can be your primary.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, this woman said that the homestead credit can only be taken on your primary residence.
Right. Yes.
So everything after that, you paying full taxes on it. Please note that somewhere.
I'm sure there's some sort of tax loophole that they're trying to put together on Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Hey, gray area, we talk about it.
Yeah, you got to talk about it. You have
Talk
to.
about it all day,
the ins and the outs.
All day, man.
Let's go to some of the viewers, man. Some of the viewers were having some huge conversation, and I believe the young lady had a question in regards to
Sherry?
equity and mortgage.
Yeah, I seen
Sherry
that
Hayes?
question.
I'm close to paying off my mortgage. Should I keep a balance or pay it off? Have considered refinancing to pull funds out to buy a house or two and flip it, or to rent to obtain additional positive cash flow.
Pay that thing off.
Pay it off.
I would suggest for her to pay it off.
Yes,
Yes.
I
And
concur.
definitely keep it. And I mean, even if
Definitely.
it would be better for her to pay it off and then turn around,
Add
do the minimum repairs that she needs. And if she wants to move, then sell it. Then she, not only does she have all her equity in the home, but then if she decides to buy another home, she has some cash, she has some reserve, to put down and just to save for a rainy day. You know what I mean? Or to invest in another property. So, she can definitely start building her empire by just paying it off.
The more assets you have free and clear,
Yes.
the better that is in your portfolio. Now, some
Yes.
people will pay their house off, move into another house, and then that house becomes all positive cash flow. Because you own it
You
free and
renting it
clear.
out.
So the same way as you get a double, you start to rehab one side, then you move in the other side, then you get your renter. But when you get your renter, then you fix up the side you're living in, and when you move out, it's to one side paying for the whole house.
You call Chap for some property management.
Yes.
So free and clear. You pay your house off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You rent it out to somebody, and then you get Chap. You know what I'm saying? To manage the property.
It doesn't
Don't
make no
forget.
sense to pay it off.
Hey.
You keep getting a loan against it because you're working backwards.
But don't forget, the chap's gonna show you how to shoot that jumper too.
Oh yeah, all day.
But you gotta have chain nets.
You gotta have chain nets.
Nightmares, man.
Patrick, I'm bringing it back to you.
Man, you brought back some.
You gotta have chain nets. These kids don't know what they got today, man.
Nah, they don't.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Nah, man, they don't, man.
So we concur on that, though.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, to the lady with the great question, you definitely want to pay that off because not only will it do two things for you, it's gonna look very good on your credit as a trade line that's already taken care of, and you've executed it over whatever 15, 30 years, whatever you took it out on, and then you're gonna be in a better position, as Cortes had said. You're just gonna be better off moving forward. You're gonna have that asset. You can use the equity, or you can leave it there, and then you're ready to do what you want.
You can leverage your portfolio when you go to a bank and say, "Hey, I have 5 properties free and clear."
Right.
If you
That's
need to
powerful.
get some real money, that's powerful.
Yeah, that's real powerful.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
you do like people don't remember we integrated the old Steve Anderson karate. He said, "Hey, he would finance you for the black belt program where he was the bank." So then he went to the bank and said, "I got 100 people saying they'll pay me over 2 years, $2,500. How much can I get towards these contracts? Paper money is what we call it.
Wow.
That's the key.
That is
So
key.
sometimes we can teach you how to become your own bank."
Yes.
And we teach that in our
It's
program.
a sexy word that they use.
It is, man.
It's called monetizing.
Yeah, exactly.
But you got to come to that class. We can't let all that
Listen, do a close up.
Easy.
Hey.
They trying to hold that sexy back. That's what they trying to do. Like, hey, you can't give all the sexy out.
Yeah. We got what they call the sweet spot. But you got to come to that class.
So basically, he's showing a little bit of thigh right now. He ain't gonna show the whole thigh. He's showing a drop of the thigh.
Hey, I don't want to see no thighs in here, okay?
It's a little slit.
That's strong.
That's strong. That slit is strong.
Let it be known that slit is for real.
Yeah.
We got that info for you.
Hey, keep you boy thinking like, man, what is through that slit?
Hey,
Oh my goodness.
Hey, we'll keep you up at
easy.
I'm using that as a metaphor.
Easy.
I'm just as a metaphor, man, what y'all saying.
We went from PG to X-rated real quick.
I'm using that as a metaphor, man.
We back.
Okay, quick question in regards to equity.
Yes.
Say you have a long way to go, right? You've been in this house for 10, 15 years, but you gained 30 to 40,000 that is increasing in appreciation of the house. What can you do with that equity? Is it smart to take a loan out on that equity, or is it smart to just let the house keep appreciating?
Great question. I'm going to answer the first part, and then the rest of my brothers can chime in.
Okay.
It really depends on what it is you're trying to do.
Right.
And when I say that, I mean that, and I'm not trying to just be to
sure.
generalize
For
the
sure.
answer, but it depends on what you're trying to do. Now, if you're trying to do something to add to the value of the home,
Right.
I would submit that you look at what you can do from the kitchen and bath area
Right.
to make it nicer.
Okay.
But then if you don't really, and your home's already there, it has the it factor, the wow factor, you might as well let that mug just marinate and sit there and just continue to grow so that you can use that equity position later on down the road.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely suggest that, or just like you said, it depends what you're trying to do. Now, if you have, like I said, if you go to a professional or you go to them, take one of their classes, you know what I mean? Let them give you all the sexy that y'all need,
Freelance professionals.
The slit. The slit.
I mean, if you definitely have $50,000 in equity, and you're trying
I ain't gonna leave that alone.
you know what I mean? It's just so hilarious, man.
That's y'all nickname, the slit.
But if you got $40,000
investments, the slit.
Hey, come get it. Patrick said the thigh. So.
if you got $50,000 in equity, and you're out here and you know that you can buy an investment property for $25,000, only needs about $5 to $7 grand worth of work. Why not? Because then that gives you a position of power. You're going to have some money left over. And then also as well, you're going to be able to have rental power, and you can rinse, recycle, repeat. And those are things that you can do, in regards to getting a proposal, going to the bank, showing that, just like you said, you own one home, you may have just refinanced one of them, and then the second one you just bought out free and clear. And then you can begin to build that equity again and decide to do the same thing within the next couple of years. So it just depends on how you're trying to leverage your money. You know, just like you said, if you got $40,000-$50,000 in equity and you just want to take the loan out just to take it out, just to fix up your house, there's no point in doing that. It will be better for you to fix it up on your own through your savings and through your own reserves, and then, you know what I mean, let that equity build up. And if you decide to sell, just like we were talking about previously, you can sell that house, take that equity, that money that you have, and put it into something else.
Get the house you want.
Exactly.
Towards the house you want.
Right.
Instead of trying to take that out, fix it up, and then you're still not happy.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, in that class, we'll teach you how to purchase homes without the bank. And then the bank is never tied to your asset. Even if you default on your money, they can never take your house. But that's that sweet spot again.
Slow motion.
Slow motion.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? And I sat and thought about this one day. A house can be sold it can be sold every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, for the same cost that it's like represented. So, you know, a person can buy it for $175 and then he can sell that for $175. He buy it. That's a loop of cash flow that just keeps
perception being
circulating.
transferred.
That's crazy.
That's all it is.
How many times
Yeah.
has that 167 hit somebody's bank account?
You season it for 30 days, you can turn it over again.
Right.
Right.
Cortez
That's
mentioned
crazy.
it earlier, and I was paying attention when he was giving his answer about how early in his career he was doing that same thing through contracts. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And so that's another way you can jump into this current of the real estate industry and do some damage with very little out-of-pocket money. And that's part of, again, that's what we talk. Yeah, I understand part of it. That's what we talk about. So we're going to throw you some morsels out there to try to get you to understand that.
Appreciate the morsels.
Yeah. We
There's some Pringles out there, but
I mean,
morsels.
chocolate-covered morsels, so they're not just your regular.
I got you. Cyclone, okay.
So they're gonna have some little taste on your palate, so it's gonna be there for you.
Okay, gotcha.
But I mean, it's just so many different facets, so many different areas in the industry that you can go and do. And I just love the way these brothers are saying, boom, and professionalism, and we take on. I mean, this gentleman here manages 3,000. Did you say?
No, we only have 515 properties here in Indy.
But you got how many?
500
nationally?
Yeah, on a national basis.
Yeah, and
See,
we got
that's
some questions.
That's probably about that.
That's a
Yeah,
lot
that's
to count.
about,
Yeah.
that's about right.
And that's
And
serious.
I think we're covered over 15 states right now.
And there's some serious diversity in the room as to how and what real estate can do, from a broker to freelance professionals, is what we like to call ourselves. But it's all again about how you understand and the knowledge that you are able to equip yourself with in order to move forward.
But we're everyday people, and that's what gives us the difference. That's why people deal with us, because we weren't born with a silver spoon.
Right.
I lived in the meadow.
Oh, I swear, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I lived in Parkwood.
4618.
Everybody lived in the meadow.
Riverside.
Shout out to Riverside.
All I got to say is 4626.
Riverside.
Yeah, 46218, man.
Come on with it.
Like, you go to all these seminars. I don't want to go sit in a seminar and you got this guy that's standing up that's born into millionaires and he's telling me about a business.
For sure.
Or, one of these pyramid business and he was born, family got over $50 million.
Yeah.
He don't impress me.
No.
Because he don't, I believe you can't have no
He has
testimony.
a lot more leverage, man.
Right, you don't have no testimony without no test.
Right.
So you can't tell me about something you ain't been through. You
Right.
don't know nothing about no struggle. When you're at 16, you got a new Mercedes-Benz and your mom and dad pays your insurance.
Right.
So we are real people
Yeah.
that just get them to do this every day like everybody else.
Right.
We gonna be in Kroger's, we gonna be in the dollar store. You'll catch us at Walmart.
Shout out to the dollar store, man.
Shout out to the dollar store.
Man, shout out to syrup sandwiches and cheese toast, man. That's how you know it was hard.
Hey, listen.
Okay, it's a blessing to see me with this on. Okay,
Man, shout out
Can
to
we call out all the sandwiches? You just sugar sandwich,
Spam.
ketchup sandwich,
Spam, bro.
Hey,
Sandwich, come on now.
shout out to Sugar
butter
Bread.
Yeah, sugar bread all day.
the
Come on,
government
man.
cheese, farina.
Hold on, man.
Shout out to bread.
Shout out to
My
pickle.
goodness.
Hold on.
Without the
Shout out
bread,
to
it wouldn't be
pickle juice, bro. No, shout out to pickle juice.
Who said shout out to Bread?
Without the bread, there wouldn't be nothing.
Oh my God.
Shout out to pickle juice, man.
Come on, man.
Straight up.
Hey, listen.
Hey,
Shout out to Gloria.
I'll tell you why, man. When we were kids, we didn't have money to go get pop. So, man, we played ball at West Montgomery Park. which that's the area that I grew up in.
Yeah, 34th and Emerson. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So my big brother Gus, shout out man to Gus, DJ Gus. He used to have this big jar, man. Like I don't know where he got it from, but every week he would have a big jar with no pickles in it. So we have juice, man. We carry the whole jar, man, to the park. Playing ball, sweating, drink the juice.
What?
All that sodium, man, you playing all day. You playing all day, chat.
Man,
All day.
Where do you get it from?
I never heard that.
I ain't never heard that before.
Bro, good kids, man.
Did y'all
Right there, pickle juice.
Yeah, was it cold?
Nah, man.
It was hot.
It was hot.
Oh no,
It was
can't
hot.
do
That
it.
was beautiful.
Can't do it.
Pickle juice.
That's horrible.
man.
I can't do it.
Man,
It ain't even cold.
fried bologna sandwiches, man.
Oh yeah.
Fried a hot dog, cut it down the middle.
You know you
That's
had
what
to.
I'm saying.
You know you had
Shout out to
cut
the cooler
end.
cups. Come on, man. Y'all make me think about all this little hood stuff,
No.
man.
Shout out to the iron. Okay.
Oh man.
Grilled cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Bread and cheese. Come through with the iron. You ain't know when you was young. You ain't know how to use the oven or the toaster.
I mean, that iron,
You
boy.
grab that iron. Come on now.
They got me on that one.
Shout out to sugar, so because you had to put that on your Cheerios or your blank cornflake. It wasn't
Nah,
even
man.
cornflake.
That,
It wasn't even.
King Vitamin, man. That's what
Man,
you talking
come
about.
here,
Oh,
man. You didn't go there.
Hey, man. That
King Vitamin.
King Vitamin is the worst cereal of all time.
Some sugar with it. You in there a little bit.
Hey, man.
That was plastic. That was plastic.
The worst cereal, man,
King Vitamin was
the
plastic,
face
bro.
smacks. The face smacks. You know the one I'm talking about, man.
Plastic bag.
Yeah, the plastic. Oh, man, that's the worst stuff, man. It tastes like plastic.
That's college days right there.
I can't get
Hey, man,
past the
it was a
King
struggle.
Vitamin. King
Come on,
Vitamin. That
Roman
was
noodles.
beautiful.
King Vitamin
Shout
had
out,
to be
man, to Top
plastic, bro.
Ramen. Top Ramen.
Had to be
Shout out
plastic.
Top
Oh
Ramen.
man.
Boy.
No.
I mean, hey, look, man. I go all day, man. Oh, my God.
That's
Yeah.
We
beautiful.
didn't even have the
Stop it.
dairy milk that come for the store. Just said milk. It didn't even have no brand. It ain't got crab cheese. Just say cheese.
Beware of anything that's just titled what it is.
It ain't got no barcode. It ain't no barcode on it.
You got to get that knife and cut it off the whole block.
Yes. Beware of anything that's
foil back
titled
over
what it
to
is.
the
Yeah, the blank box with just cereal wrote on the front of it. Yeah, that's all you had was cereal. No picture, no nothing.
Picture, nothing.
Black letters.
With nothing crab on the box.
Shout out to Totino's Pizza.
Come on now.
I bet it's soggy pizza, boy. It don't matter.
That's the nastiest pizza I ever tasted in my life. If somebody give you Tostino's pizza, man, they don't like
Shout
it.
out to Totino's Pizza, man.
Hey, it was the come through. Especially when you threw it in the microwave when it wasn't supposed it wasn't even supposed to go in the microwave.
Shout out to the struggle. It is real.
Hey, man, it's real. Hey, man. Hey, Chap. Hey, look, I'm sorry. You got me cracking up, man. Boy, it's funny. Chap, man, one of our viewers.
Yes.
This is a two-part question, right?
Okay.
So she says, what does it take to rent a house from Conrads?
Okay.
And then she also asks, what's the advantage to renting from a private owner versus a large company like Conrads?
Okay. To answer our first question, far as the credit criteria, if you're above a 580, you're looking at a 1 month deposit. 540 to 579, you're looking at a 2 month deposit. You must not have any criminal history, evictions in the last 5 years.
Bankruptcies?
Any bankruptcies within the last 5 years.
Okay.
If you did have a bankruptcy, it has to be discharged and provide paperwork because a lot of that does follow with you past that 5 year window.
How long does your discharge have to be?
At least, I would say 2 years.
Okay, copy.
And then you must provide, last 2 recent paycheck stubs and an ID. It's very simple. We utilize Rently. I don't know if you guys know about Rently. We utilize Rently a lot to gain access to all our properties. What they would do is want to visit either our website, www.rentconrex.com, where you can actually see what we have in inventory. If you like a home, you can actually register with Rently, and then you can get a code that will either text to you or they will call, and you can gain access to all our properties. But it is a 99-cent fee, but you can visit up to 20 homes off that 99 cent.
99 cents?
99 cent.
Wow.
But some people they think they can use a pay card. No, You gotta have a debit card.
Right.
That's really it. A lot of things that we have to receive back. It takes us 48 hours. I say that's the worst case. It's 48 hours to get an answer back if you're approved or not. The biggest thing is a lot of landlords or property managers, like in the apartment industry, they do not want to let us know. They don't want to send us their rental history. So that usually takes us the longest to get an answer back. So so a lot of people, they do apply and they kind of like, hey, what's going on? So we kind of go above and beyond
For sure.
communicating. A lot of times I'll just drive out to the property and visit the landlord, just pop up and say, hey, I need you to fill this out.
For sure.
Because it just depends on what they have going on. And I believe the second question is that versus renting from Conrex versus a larger company. There's a couple things I definitely want to point out. Some other companies, they will charge, like if you have a pet, we only have a one pet fee. We don't charge monthly. It's a $300 pet fee, but it's $100 additional for every other pet. But a lot of other bigger companies, they charge monthly. A lot of our homes, you get more bang for your buck. We have a large variety of homes, so our maintenance is really top notch. They will come out. They will reach out to you. Everything is done outside in our corporate office for the most part. Everything's done online. But once you do submit a work order or a maintenance request, they are contacting you within 24 hours. If it's an emergency, we're definitely out there. If we have a water burst, if a pipe busted, or you don't have heat in your home, just like these gentlemen over here, they come out immediately. But as far as written from us, we make things very personal. We like to get to know our tenants. We interact with our tenants. We always let them know what we're doing again in the community or what we might be doing in the office.
Right.
It's Conrex is very unique. We do our best to satisfy every customer. I know nobody in this world is perfect. Everybody has their avenues that they do struggle in, but Conrex is there to serve our people, and we strictly focus on just affording homes.
That's awesome.
For Indiana, for all over. Hopefully that answers her question. But yeah, as far as the application process is very simple. It really is.
Okay.
Awesome. We had a really good question about owning land. And before you answer that, really quick story. I worked with a girl whose grandfather bought land near Purdue. And I guess he didn't do a daggone thing with it, just let it sit. Purdue was expanding, and she said that they offered him so much money. She didn't even want to tell me the amount, but it was enough to give her some money, her mother some money, everybody in the family some money, just because he bought land and did nothing with it and waited for. I don't know if he waited intentionally, but he did nothing with it. And Purdue came and bought it and gave him
It's called research.
Research,
And when you find those areas, a lot of times you buy land, the city just makes you cut the grass. Well, you go get some youth from church and teach them things, have them cut the grass, give them a little money, have them cut the grass. But that's just buying right.
That was me.
Sound like a violin.
We're gonna give him a referee here. So you just buying right, sitting on it, and you can do it if you know they're coming through an area, and you can get it from somebody before the city gets it. Say if it's an 86-year-old lady over there, and she'll let you get it. You get it, you sit on it, taxes maybe $100, $200 a year.
Wow.
And when they make that move.
Okay, I mean, you touched on something that reminded me of a situation that there was a guy I knew, and all he does is buy land and property. Like the state has an auction every year that people go to where they can buy property in any surrounding in the counties. It's like a county land sale, and so if, like, for instance, if a millionaire had like these properties and he stopped paying taxes on them or for whatever reason, and the state takes it and then puts it in this auction, that person has a year, right, to pay those taxes after it's been sold.
When you kind of mix them together, there's a new project called Project 2000.
Okay.
And the city's tearing down 2,000 properties. They're trying to a year.
Okay.
All those lands are available.
Wow.
We have a list, and they have some houses and they have some land, and they're all available all over the city. Right. You know, when you come to that class,
And
you
they
learn
auction.
those things.
Right.
It's not an auction.
You learn it. Okay, it's not an auction. What is it?
It's just available.
Okay.
They have a set price, and you purchase them.
Wow.
You go before board, you submit it, say you want to buy it. The board meets once a month. Every month, they say, okay, you have 2 years to do something. If you buy a piece of land,
Right.
you have 2 years to build on it. If
Right.
you buy one of the houses,
2 years to build on it.
Yes.
Why 2?
A part of this project?
What do you
Yes.
mean
Okay.
build? Like she was saying that one guy was sitting on it for a while. What do you mean?
well, if you
gotta
buy
build?
through this project,
Oh,
you
okay.
have to.
Those
gotta
are the
build on
steps,
it.
yeah. Those
Got
are the
you.
stipulations
Got
that
you.
you have
Yeah,
to follow.
and then if you
in
buy
order
a house, you have to
buy it at
rehab
that low
it
rate.
Oh.
because the rate is so
okay.
low.
But a lot of places
Gotcha.
do that, like
Gotcha.
Yeah.
a lot of companies do that, like Indy Land Bank, which is what
Yes.
Renew Indy,
Renew
or
Indy,
Renew
yeah.
Indy, that's what
Indy.
that is,
They
yeah.
do that, and they require you a certain amount of time to rehab that property or do something with that land. Now, I was speaking with my business partner. Shout out to Drake. He ain't even watching this because he don't be on Facebook like that. But I'm gonna let him know. He was
I'm with
saying
you,
that
Drake.
there's actually a way that you can actually. Somebody might get mad at me for this, but there's actually a way that you can do a quiet title against like that property, that parcel or land, and they can't tell you, if you could sell that property or land or whatever the case. Because sometimes I know that they say that they don't want you to sell it. You know what I mean? At a
Right.
particular
At a
time as
certain-
well.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So
But
you
you
say
just
there's a legal way.
circumvent that with that.
Yeah. There's a legal way that you can do it.
There's that knowledge. You're that
Yeah.
knowledge.
There's also, he told me that a lot of people can get real estate legal services from I think he said it's indie like legal services or something like that for
Throw
free.
out the morsels over
Yeah.
at Cortes.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know
Chocolate
that.
covered.
So that's something that you know what I mean, that people should definitely check out. You know,
And that's why
'cause
the tax sale is dangerous, because they just, you buy a home in a tax sale, they just deed it to you.
Right.
Or if there's liens against it,
Well, no, partner, be real. There's going to be liens against it. Okay,
Wow.
it's going to need to be quieted. As he,
and
as
then
he
you go
talked
to, if you
about.
go to sell it to somebody else, and then the title company comes back and says,
Yeah,
There's
there's
liens
30
against that.
different.
How long do you
judgments.
have to wait for that lien? For the lien?
no,
Like,
you
what
have to,
happens?
if you own it, you got to pay it to
pay
get
it.
off.
As soon as you bought that house from the tax sale,
Right.
You got excited about the house for
Yeah.
$1,000.
Oh.
You go to sell it to me, and we go to the title company, and they say it's got $50,000 with the liens. You stuck.
yeah,
Wow.
the first thing you want to do when you buy a home from the tax sale, just go call your attorney right away and just say, get the title search done, and then ask them how much it's going to cost to quiet the lien.
Right.
Quiet the
it's
title.
every bit of $2,500, and that he
it
was
takes-
telling me that you can go through indie legal services or whatever free legal services that they have, and you can get that done for free. Actually, it may take you a couple of months, but a lot of people don't know that.
It's the time. It's the time thing that
frame.
we're talking
Yep.
But
about.
see,
Right.
they don't tell you that because they want you to just go ahead and buy that.
Right.
You in there just buying. They're
Right.
going to tell you
And then
that.
you run into that when you go get.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Especially if you're trying to do a flip, as we talked
Right.
about earlier.
Right.
Of course, you want to be careful because that's a time-consuming endeavor when you have to quiet the title, and it can
Right.
take.
And it can get
And
expensive.
and it's
Right.
going to shorten your wallet too and your
Right.
pocketbook.
There's
Right.
no tax.
Sometimes it's
So it's-
$1,500 per lien.
So is flipping?
How much?
Is flipping profitable? Like from a, let's say, from a person who, this is not a company or a team that has been doing this for a while. Obviously they got the logistics down, but for someone like say myself, want to get into the flipping game, is that lucrative? Or is that a like you said, a long-term, drawn-out thing that you got to be prepared for, and you better have some money in the bank to care for that property. Maybe even rent a property management company to help you, keep it up.
If you do cash, if you're able to do cash, it's lucrative. But if you have to get a loan, you need to have some money because you might have to sit on that.
Right.
It might not. Okay, you can get this property, you can rehab it. You call him, he lists it for you. If he don't sell it for 60 to 90 days, the bank
you're responsible.
don't care how. The bank wants you to pay that note every month.
That's
So
wow.
if you
Yeah.
buy cash and you flip it,
Right.
if it's sitting on, it's not costing you anything. But if you're getting a loan and you flipping, you need to have some money because you need to be prepared to sit on that asset.
But
Right.
partner, it is costing us. If it's not generating revenue, then that asset is a negative demonstration on my portfolio, which I cannot
man.
have. And
Right.
so it just goes back to, you asked, is flipping lucrative nowadays? And it is, and it can be, but you really have to drill down and do your due diligence so that way you know what areas are selling, what areas are not selling, what the values are. All these things come into play, as you said. So you must understand the logistics and then be ready to make it happen.
And you have to buy right.
And it does.
To buy right.
And then it goes back down to what Ebony mentioned earlier. She said something about the land. Well, we forgot to mention, brothers, it's all about what? Location.
Right.
And so that's key too. You know, you can't go. We mentioned Carmel, and we giving them some shouts, but that location. Let's just be real. Carmel, Noblesville, Fisher.
Man, I seen a place up here in Carmel Clay.
Yeah,
I didn't
Carmel
even know that existed.
But did y'all know also Carmel offers the Section 8 program?
There's a whole
lot of people don't even know that.
Say that again.
Carmel offers a Section 8 program, so people can go up there and you understand.
You know what? I heard that a long time ago, and I didn't believe. I heard it's like through some apartments out there.
Yeah, but that's like 46032.
Yeah.
Hamilton County offers it.
Hey, Patrick, right on for hitting them with that. Let's call them again. 46032.
Yeah, 46032.
They got y'all out there if y'all need it.
See the Carmel.
That's
See the Carmel
It's
people.
not a lottery like here. Hamilton County is easy, you know, Section 8 there. They don't have the lottery that we have here.
See, there's an upscale Carmel and there's a hood Carmel.
Yes.
See, the hood Carmel is 46032.
wow.
The upscale Carmel is 46033.
Okay, 46032.
Right now.
And then if you go a little further, 46074 put you up in the western, the northern Westville area.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
That's where the high dollar folks are.
you can take your Section 8. You can take your Section 8 from up there and move it down here. And don't go through the lottery. So if you get it up in those places,
Right.
and you ain't got to, it might take you 2-3 years to get it here.
Yeah.
So if you get it up there in Hamilton County, you
yeah,
move it. You can say I'm moving down to Marion County and I have my Section 8, and they'll let you just transfer.
Yeah, it's faster.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So if you have a property, you just bought an investment, property. How must one go about getting Section 8 for their property? How does that work?
You gotta meet their
1900 block of
requirements.
North Meridian. You go down there.
and they give you a list of their requirements. Then Section 8 comes out and inspect it, and then they make you Section 8 approved.
Okay.
But once if you start working with them and they say, okay, well, that's another one of his property, that's another one of Eric's property, they know who you are and they'll get to approve you. But every time they have to come out and approve it, and then you're able to get the Section 8 people.
I believe it's still under the rent reasonable checklist that they go through.
Okay.
And your asset has to score up into the mid 20s, I believe, like 24, 25, and you get the highest amount of money for that.
Is that a risk to have an investment, a property?
Yeah, like
Section 8? I mean, like,
that's what, I was about to ask.
how long is it before you depreciate?
I'll do this.
So like, if y'all own like 5 houses and y'all Section 8 them, I mean, is that like a good?
I'll say this. The long-term asset on your portfolio is the rental asset.
Okay.
And it will make itself do what it's supposed to do over time.
Okay.
It is risky because every time you have to turn the unit and then bring it up to market and make it turnkey again, you pulling money out of your pocket to do so. Versus a flip, which you can do right away, and that's just boom right then and there.
Right.
And so I always submit that you have a mixture in your portfolio of properties that you can turn real quick and properties that are in there for the long run.
Gotcha.
That's
Remember,
really good.
appreciation.
Yeah.
Appreciation is what this is all about. So
Right.
we talking about long term. I don't know no other avenue or instrument that you can use that will make you the amount of money that you can make with real estate.
Right.
You put your money in the bank, what they gonna give you on the year? Somebody tell me 2-3%.
Yeah.
Return on your investment.
Right.
Boy, you put that in the real estate and you do 7%. 10% that it appreciates over.
I know a guy right now.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
what I'm
I
talking
was just
about.
talking about this earlier, but just say, just like you say, you have great credit. So you can use your credit as a heavy advantage. There's a lot of people with money right now that don't want to be involved in the flip, but they'll invest in them, and they're getting 20,
Thank you.
18% on their return within 6 months. This is not even a year. You know what I mean? And it's just all about time. Right now is going to be the perfect time for somebody to invest. They'll work by the spring. They'll list their property. It'll get sold because that's when everybody's buying. Weather's changing. And you don't have to do anything. They'll take care of the headaches, the contractors, the listing process, the paperwork, pulling the permits for garage, things that you don't even want to deal with. And you can be sitting here doing your podcast laughing while, you know what I mean, laughing all the way to the bank. And
Right.
you getting, and this is not just 20% on like $100. This is 20% on like a $50,000-$60,000 profit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I mean, what other source of avenue can you make that type of money on
Right.
unless it's the stock market? And the stock market, you know what I mean?
That's still
Most of the
risky
time,
too.
yeah, that's very risky. But in real
risky.
estate,
Right.
you know what I mean? No matter what happens with that rehab, once that property sells, you can have somebody put you as first lien holder on that title. So to make sure
Yes.
that your investment is protected, and you still get paid no matter if they lose money or not.
Right.
So I mean, it's just
And
power
real
in
estate
that.
is somewhat measurable as well. You know, it's not like the
Yeah.
stock market. I mean, it takes a little bit longer, but you almost see it coming. You know, with
Yeah, but the
real
new
estate.
home, even the new home builders, this is what they're doing. Say if we're all the new home builders, we're a group. We come to you and say, hey, buy this model from us, get your mortgage. We'll pay your mortgage until we sell out the community, and then when we're done, you move in your house. And that's what they're doing now.
Wow.
So there's no upfront cost. Then they're getting the land. So say you own the land. I come to you and say, give me 2 years to sell all these lands. Now, if he comes and buy a house, we already paying the rent for the model. We got to go to closing every time on each plot that we plotted all out.
Right.
So now, as these builders, we ain't got nothing really invested. You didn't pay for the model.
Easy.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll break it down
You
for
about
you.
to start preaching.
He was pulling that slip back, boy.
That's what.
He was.
That's what even the new home builders are doing.
For sure.
And they're getting 19% off of every house.
Right.
Profit.
Right.
19% off of after they pay for the land and
Right,
go to
right.
closing. So they got to go close just like we would have to go close.
Right. Right.
But
All
you'll
for
learn how
walking
to,
through
you'll
the
learn how to
process.
do that when you come to that wonderful class.
Oh, absolutely.
Away from, you know.
And y'all don't forget K&T.
Absolutely. This is a question for you. What percent, because you're in property management, let's say I have a property, what percent do you think I'll be, okay, how can I ask this? I'm going to be paying you to manage my property. If I'm renting out that property, I'm also having you management, what percent am I gaining anything by having a property management company in regards to profitable, or is it just a maintenance thing and it's an expense for me?
It's more a convenience thing for you.
Okay.
That's where a property management company will come in, so you can step away.
Right.
You just make your money.
Okay.
We just take our percentage or
Okay.
whatever
Right.
we agree upon,
Right.
and let us manage.
Okay.
You just collect your check.
Awesome.
That's the biggest thing. But
Okay.
with Conrex, I mean, we're in the business of buying properties,
For sure.
and then we renovate them, and we turn around, we rent them out.
Wow.
That's solely it.
Okay.
So we trying to expand our portfolio, but I mean,
Absolutely.
we do inherit tenants. We
Right.
inherit Section 8 tenants as well.
Right. That's a whole game. You guys are changing the game
That's
with
a totally different game.
Right.
We don't accept Section 8. I can't, it's hard. And I'm glad you guys pointed a lot of those things out today, because a lot of people don't actually know people that are on Section 8, they don't know where to go.
Right.
So they just call just to find out.
And so
Because
you take this voucher?
yeah. I get it all day long, and my people that are online, they understand.
Right, right.
And so we can't
Sure.
put it out there.
Right,
But
right.
but as far as answering your question, yes. I mean, as far as us just managing it,
Right,
it's
right.
solely for you to step away. You just collect your check. We just take our
Right.
percentage.
Well, let me touch on that.
Sure.
We in that wonderful class we have, we teach you, it's not good to let the homeowner know that you're the owner.
Oh, okay.
You can get online and get anybody's information. You type in
Right.
somebody's name, you put it all out.
Right.
Well, if they know that you own it, then they, oh man, make deals, they flirt with you,
Right.
do all that. So we tell people if you can't afford property management or it's not profitable for you right now, you tell them, hey, you work for the company
Right.
that's out of town, and you're just the
That's a good way to
representative.
do it. Right. That's a good
But you
one.
learned that in that class, once
For
again.
sure.
You are the representative
Right.
of that property man. You see that split,
Yeah.
So, and that way the people don't try to play on you.
Right.
Man, can you? No, I can't get I
Right.
can't get you no rent break. Man. You got to have that money.
Yeah.
Because they will play on you if you're the owner. People will go after you. They look you up and say, "Oh man, he got a lot of money. He don't need this rent. I can be late."
Right. Right.
And that's when you were talking about earlier how people get in, they get discouraged.
Right.
Because they do it the wrong way. Like he was saying, you have to have a coach or a professional if you plan on succeeding in this business. None of us in this room are perfect. But if we teach you what we know and it's working, that's why we're sitting here.
Right.
Then you should be okay.
Absolutely. Wow. This has been great, guys. I mean, we have to do this. We got to do this again. I mean, great discussion. Everything from bread to Section 8. We covered it. Chain that. We covered it all. I mean, what more do you want?
Syrup sandwiches.
Pickle juice.
Pickle juice. Guilty with the pickle juice, y'all.
But man, this has been great, man. And you know, as always, we sit here as the viewer ourselves and ask these questions that a lot of the viewers want to ask because, you know, that's just we represent the people. And thank you guys for being a part of this and coming here and being open and transparent. You know, with your businesses, and we hope that, you know, we already got people. You're gonna get some calls and some from this. You know, there's a lot of people that chimed in tonight. So go back on this feed and reiterate put your information in there and all that stuff.
Okay. I got one thing I just want to shout out real quick. Sure. Our company is doing a big scavenger hunt. So we're gonna have like marketing materials, like kind of like all over Indianapolis. The biggest promotion thing that we're doing right now is like there will be our Conrex pins. They're blue tip pins, but if you do see it, we ask that people tag our Facebook page. And then you can contact us, and we have a $50 gift card for you.
Nice.
As well.
Sweet. So they're all over the city?
Yeah, they're all over. I mean, I can't tell you where they at, but they ain't too far from the gray area.
Let's work out a deal, Chad.
Come on, man. Give us some more.
I just want to let y'all know, for anybody who brings me a client, buyer, seller, we are giving away, I'm personally giving away 50 pieces of wings from Jordan's Chicken. Jordan's Chicken. 50 pieces of wings. Feed your whole family. Feed your whole family for 3 days.
Come on.
I got a question though. With or without the lemon pepper?
Oh, man, come on.
What we do is, this is what we do. We put the lemon pepper on the side.
There you go.
That's what we do, man. And we put the Kool-Aid packets
You sold me.
on the side and the hot sauce just in case you don't
People don't
want
know about lemon pepper, man.
Yeah, the lemon pepper is
Man,
true.
I put lemon pepper on everything.
I cook everything with lemon pepper. Bro.
I was late to the game. My partner in crime introduced that to me, and I just put it on everything.
Man, and lemon pepper
man, I
goes
do
on everything.
everything,
It makes everything taste
it.
so
It
much
really
better.
does.
That's all you need. Hey, well, here's what we gonna do.
I was like,
If anybody come take the class and they mention that they saw us on the gray area, we'll give you $5 off the class.
Oh, y'all heard it here. Y'all heard it here first.
Not only that.
Keep that information.
Yes.
Who don't like money off? Come on now.
$5 goes a long way. That's the whole hot and ready. So
Well, if you add $1 to that,
class.
you can get 6 wings. From
You
Jordan.
see?
Chicken.
You see?
50 pieces of chicken.
You know what, man? I might go to Jordan's
$5
when I
off.
leave
That's
here.
a lemon
That's what I'm
pepper.
saying.
I might go to Jordan's when I leave here, man.
With the jar of pickles.
Is there any man?
You can order 50 pieces of jar of pickle juice.
Man, look.
Lemon pepper.
That's all you got to do to win him. Get a sale right here.
Man,
Bring
listen.
some pickle juice. Come on,
Hey,
man.
man.
He's going for it.
Man, that pickle juice came in handy, man.
Hey, but I want to thank y'all, man. I really want to thank y'all, brothers,
man.
for allowing us to come on here.
Yeah.
It's been a
Hey,
great
thank y'all, man.
experience, you know.
No problem.
We appreciate y'all,
And I
man.
know
Appreciate you, man.
Randy, and you know, it's good to see you guys, brothers,
Oh, yeah.
again, that we linked up a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it's
Absolutely.
a small world, man, when you come back together.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
man.
So I really appreciate it, brother.
I do too,
My
man.
young lady, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all good, man.
Oh, that's Ebony, as they
Yeah,
say.
that's Ebony.
EB.
That's Ebony.
You got to get the name. Hey, partner, we got to get the names right. So there we go.
Yeah.
What we like to do, man, is just for y'all to do y'all closing remarks. Just tell the people one last time where they can reach y'all at and to give them some good words of advice.
All right.
You guys can go first.
I will leave you with this motto, and then my partner will give you the information. I will do today what others won't so I can live tomorrow like others can.
Wow, that's powerful,
That's
man.
big. Put that on a shirt.
There it is. Area code 317-956-7717. Area code 317-956-7717. That's my direct line number. K&T Investment Developments. I'll say this. Don't allow your limitations to hold you back. We are very powerful, and we can do whatever we put our minds to. And I live by that.
Yeah.
Yep.
all right. You can visit our website, www.rentconrex.com.
You can reach me at my direct line is 317-863-8095. If you have any questions whatsoever regarding any of our rental properties, ways to get approved, if you have any questions as far as access into any of our properties, please give me a call and visit our website to see our full inventory that we do have available.
Sweet.
I just want to tell everybody I had. I'm not gonna say nothing funny. I'm not.
How many buckets of chicken they get?
I'm trying to be sad. Now everybody laughing.
How many buckets of chicken we getting?
Man, look, 50 pieces, man. Bring me the salad first. If you don't bring it, I ain't ordering it. But
$5 off chitlins.
what I will say, man, is that people, man, y'all gotta wake up every day with a purpose. Like that's so serious. Like when I wake up every day, I'm passionate about what I do. You know, passion is infectious. So wake up every day with a purpose. Definitely have a plan, and I definitely suggest that anybody, has some type of spiritual guidance or get a mentor for whatever you're doing. Whatever you want to do, get a mentor because nobody can do this alone. Also as well, if you want to reach me, it's 317-397-8733. You can shoot me a text or whatever the case. Please don't send me nothing derogatory because somebody left something derogatory in my voicemail last week. I didn't know what it was.
Man,
it was just like I don't know what's going on. But anyways, you can shoot me an email at Cortes Walker.
You didn't give him that 50 piece.
You know what? They weren't talking about no 50 piece. Let's talk about a 2 piece. But anyway, email me at corteswalker@kw.com. You can also email me at cortes@dreamteamindy.com. You can shoot me an email at ktez313@gmail.com as well for investment purposes. Thank you.
there it is.
All right.
He be in the building.
Gotta have a mic over here. I want to thank you, gentlemen. You all said, I kept taking mental notes of the language that you were using. You said assets. You said, and I'm going to add mentorship. Equity and ownership. And you said, there's one more that you, legacy. I know our viewers are of all colors, but specifically to our community, these are words that we don't use very often. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I think that, I just want to encourage our viewers to share this video or share this,
feed.
What do you call it? Shoot, feed? Discussion. Dang, am I getting out? Okay, so the discussion. Because these are words that we don't use. Asset specifically. Because we want to be hood rich, we want to be rich, but we don't want to be wealthy. And you become wealthy with assets. Yep. Liquid assets. Right now.
Yes. Yep.
So share this video because this is something that we're missing. This is something that is going to help us to truly build a community, So, and to get really where we need to be. So, thank you.
There it is. Big Wills.
Shout out to the viewers, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hey, I salute you guys, man. I love the fact that, us, that we have something to show us in a different light. You know what I'm saying? You guys spilled a whole lot of gems, man, tonight. And, like what Ray said, we're like, viewers too. So, we joke around and, and we ask questions, but we're learning. That's right. Yeah. Because, these are things that we want to, invest in or get going too. Yeah. So, I just thank y'all, man, for coming, man, and, sharing your knowledge and, wisdom and everything. Yeah, man. It's pretty much it. You guys touched on everything else. And the guy right here.
Buckets with the chains.
Now listen, look, he can also offer you, man, some chitlins too. So,
man,
chitlins.
It's the holiday season. You get some chitlins, chicken
next week.
Nah, man, I ain't carrying no chitlins, man. I'm wearing suit jackets now.
On top of wasabi,
around my client.
On top of
wasabi, get the chitlin juice, man, on the lapel. You know what I mean?
I hate chitlins, man. Against my religion.
On top of wasabi, chitlins has to be one of the worst foods ever. But there's people out there that love it.
Wasabi? I mean,
That's that caramel stuff.
hey, listen. Anything on the pig is the worst food.
Man, somebody offered me wasabi. I said, man, yeah, let me go ahead. That's the worst thing I could have ever done.
Anything on the pig is the worst food, man. Hog maw, pig feet,
nose, tongue, all that.
Cool.
yeah, man.
I just want to say again, reiterate, thank you guys for coming on here. You guys are very busy gentlemen. You guys have families and lives, and we just always appreciate you guys for coming in here and being with us and educating the viewers. You know, I mean, this is important for us to get the word out about the greatness that's happening in our communities, and you know, from our people. You know, we're doing a lot of great things out here. And everybody needs to understand that, you know, what you see on TV, what you see, you know, on social media isn't what's happening every day. These are the kind of things that's happening every day. So we must educate ourselves, get in touch with these gentlemen, and be a part of something great. We thank you for rocking with us. There's some great things coming to the Gray Area. We ask that you, if you want to advertise with us, please get in contact with us. We'll be December 1 through December the 15th, we'll be unleashing some packages that would allow you to further, you know, get involved with us on a sponsorship level or an advertisement level.
Absolutely.
And you know, we're getting ready to unleash a bunch of nice packages for people to get involved.
Yeah.
Because we want this platform to be not only for us, for others, and we want to keep it going.
Yeah.
You know, so and there's many more great things that I can't talk about right now that's happening in 2018 that we're still finalizing
you know, that's
on.
the slit right
It's
there.
called a sweet spot.
Yeah, it's a little slit.
The slit right
A little slit right now.
But,
we come.
This is, I believe, show 72.
That's a
Of
blessing.
the year.
That's a blessing.
That is a blessing. So we thank y'all for helping us get to this level. We can't do it without you guys. So thank you for the viewers. Thank you to all the guests. We're going to keep this thing going, and we'll rock with you guys next time. Peace.
Peace. Have a good night.
72 is a good year, too.
Welcome to the Gray Area. The Gray Area Media. We've obligated ourselves to be the voice for all communities, speaking on topics that include community, religion, education, politics, technology, sports, health, and wellness. The Gray Area Media is a platform created by longtime friends for the sole purpose of providing our communities with the ability to voice current, past, and modern day issues. The Gray Area, in its naming significance, solely speaks to the area in which people shy away from speaking because of media-based constraints or contractual-based obligations. Well, I'm here to tell you, we don't do that here. So please, stay tuned in. We're going to go live in a few minutes. Don't forget, please add us as a friend on Facebook so that you can follow our live feed. And not only that, please add us on Twitter and Instagram at The Gray Area Media. Please visit our website at www.thegrayareamedialive.com. Thank you.